Assalamualaikum and very good morning to my friend and my lecturer, Mr. Hanafi. We are from group number 1. We would like to introduce our group members.
Hi, my name is Hanafi bin Zulkifli. I'm student number 1 and my matrix number is 19D80F D8020F 1031.
Okay. My name is Wan Ahmad Ikonuddin bin Wan Ismail. I am student number 2. My number matrix is 19D8020F1020.
My name is Nur Akmal bin Muhammad Kamal Balik. I'm student number 3 and my matric number 19D8020F1053.
Okay. Now we are the group members. So now we would like to speak about the discussion test. Our discussion test is private or government school, which is better? Okay, let's go to the first point.
Alright. A private school isn't funded or controlled by the government, but by an individual body using the students' tuition fees. The teachers is usually supported by a class assistant in a classroom. It provides more attention and support to each student on a one-on-one basis. It's true that yearly professional training for teachers in private schools was not common in Malaysia many years ago, but things have changed. Today, teachers in good private school do attend professional training on a regular basis. Private school have an edge over the government school because they work hard and their concerted efforts help the students to get good grades. And students also learn basic etiquettes and ways of socialization as well. Every child gets proper attention of teachers and can ask for help from the teachers. People also prefer their children to attend private school. Smaller classes of private schools are easy to handle. There are smaller classes of private school and that's why teachers can easily handle their students. Teachers make portfolios of each student that contain their scores of education and other activities. These portfolios help students to work hard to improve their grades, and students compete for their classmates in a positive manner. Because there is less conflict, there is less distraction. Your student can focus on what is important, their education and simply being key. Success in continuing education, because of the smaller class sizes and more individual attention, private school can offer better security when planning for college. Small class size makes real teaching possible. Your child will not simply be a number. There will be one of a dozen or so students seated around the table with their teacher. Analysis, discussion, debate, opinion, research, and presentation skills are all part of their learning experience. The advantage here is that private school education can be a solid preparation for college work.
Okay, so I have the question. Why do you think private school is effective on preparing the student for the next stage of education, which is university or college?
Yeah, there is a difference between public and private school class size and student to teachers ratios is considerable. In public school, the average class is 25 kids compared to 90 kids per class in private school according to the researchers. Correspondingly, private school have a better student to teacher ratio, 12.2 students compared to 16.1 students per class in private school. So basically, teachers can focus on a one-on-one teaching lessons. Since there are no other state supervision, private school can offer a curriculum that suits their focus. If you have a child that wants to study the arts, theatre, music, or other such subject, a private school will be a better fit. Due to ever-changing budgets and mandated testing, public schools are more focused on the core classes, often at the expense of more peripheral subjects.
Let's go to the second point.
Okay. Definition of government school. Government schools are primary or secondary school mandate for or offered to all children without charge, funded and controlled by the local, state or national government. Since they are supported by the government, they are wholly or partly funded by taxation. Since government schools are controlled by the government, the curriculum is decided at a state or national level. All the government schools follow the same curriculum. Admission to government school is determined by the address of the student. The schools are obliged to take in the students who belong to their respective geographical zone. Government schools have low learning costs. Costs in one area that most parents are usually anxious. This is one of the main factors that parents have to consider when deciding which school their children will go to. Public school is fully funded by the government and will cost parents close to nothing other than necessities such as school bag, exercise book, and stationery. A small fee for the administration of the school will have to be paid too. School activities such as school trip, camp, and such do not cost parents much. Canteen food too are considerably cheap. Government schools are affordable and they provide the minimum required infrastructure to meet the basic needs. Classrooms in public schools have a bigger student to teacher ratio compared to private schools. The class size in public school is way too large, usually up to 13 to 45 students per class, making the class not conducive for the student. Because of this, it's a somewhat challenging task or to offer personal attention and support to students and at the same time, this would need to be touched in the syllabus. Students who cannot catch up usually have to resort to tuition class to keep up with the syllabus.
In my opinion, government schools are better than private school because government school provide all types of facilities to the student and also treat everyone as equal, but private school take only dozen students who are able to pay for the school. But child of poor cannot pay, so they cannot take admission in private school. Private school only take huge fee such as development fee, but what are element of development fee nobody know expert school management. Public school should be aware and school should disclose their annual receipt and payment to parents in annual meeting. But the government school remove these barriers between rich and poor people.
That makes sense, but public school have some disadvantages related to the large number of enrolled students. Sheer size alone make it difficult for teachers, administrators, and security officials to ensure school safety. There is no easy way to monitor and inspect every student's clothing, backpack, and locker for weapons or drugs. For example, in Malaysia, drug abuse among the younger generation in Malaysia is becoming a cause for concern, with children as young as 7 getting involved in it. Certified Fraud Examiners Association, Malaysia chapter, President Dato' Syarpan Sata said the study found that 2,169 drug abuse cases last year involved students from primary school, secondary school, and university or college. It's also difficult for school officials to keep a close eye on truancy issues, which large class sizes. Teachers often struggle to ensure that no student is left behind. Teachers can't always one-on-one time with students who need extra academic help when they have 25 or more students to keep track of in each class. So guys, what do you think? Are you agree with me?
I am agree. I would like to ask a question to one about the cost of learning that determines which school is better.
Good question. I think the cost of learning only determines the school is more advanced and high quality, such as private school. Private schools offer quality education to only those children who can easily afford the fees and other requirements of their system. But the low cost of learning can help low-income families to study in schools such as government schools. Government schools have many free facilities such as free education, free textbook, and notebook. Okay, let's go to the third point.
Next point is good facilities in private school. A private school will have large, modern, well-lit, clean gymnasium, swimming pools, boathouses, track, theatres, workout rooms, wood shops, tennis courts, science lab, computer studios, classroom and lounges, and all the other complex facilities that make up fine schools. Most independent school boasts rooming, comfortable libraries with large, well-curated collection and staff of smart, super literate librarians who can advise kids and families on reading selection and academic research. Parents can often borrow a book too, yeah. A good private school should provide talented gym, art, music, dance, and theater teachers at all grade levels. Students will meet in these special classes at least every other week, and sometimes often several times a week. Expect professional production values for its musical and concert. Look for attractive displays of strong artworks and even a dedicated gallery. Various schools also provide a full range of film, photography, and computer graphics equipment. Students in private school often receive late model laptops or tablets for their own use. Internet service is fast and reliable, and a technology support department promptly fix problems with service and equipment as they arise.
Zoom, why do you think that private school have a better facility than public school?
Yeah, private schools are funded only or partly by student tuition fee and administrated by a private body. To a large extent, private schools are independent from the interference of the public. Based on these two major differences, there are also significant differences that can be noticed between public school and private school. So basically, private school have a better funded school than public school because the government have to control 1,000 more public schools and include the funds for every school. Private school fees, including tuition fee, textbook, and other else, are quite expensive. That's the reason why private schools have a big budget to build or create a good facility for their students. That's all. Okay, let's go to the next topic.
Free facilities of public school. What does the facility offer? Many public school facilities are impressive, others are mediocre. Public schools also reflect the economic realities of their location. Whereas suburban schools will often have more amenities than inner city schools. As a rule, if your son is an aspiring football player, then a school with great athletic facilities and coach staff should be a top priority. 2. Trend and issue. Many communities recognize that in addition to school facilities being cost effective, there should be more learning centers developmentally and age appropriate. Safe, comfortable, accessible, flexible, diverse, and equitable. While location of new facilities in residential neighborhoods are partnering with other community-based organizations, schools are becoming true community centers. In addition, schools are taking advantage of educational resources in the communities as well as partnering with museums, zoos, libraries, and other public institutions as local business. Based on mounting evidence that smaller schools lead to improved social climate as well as better achievement, school leaders have begun to create smaller schools or have created schools within school. 2. The design of safe school increasingly recognize the desirability of provide network rather than installing checkpoints and security guards. Smaller school building allow for both natural surveillance, where students and teachers are on familiar terms, thereby decreasing the possibility that any one student is overlooked. Finally, information technology is precipitating a variety of change in the organization and physical form of school. With respect to instructional processes, technology is facilitating the movement towards project-based, self-directed learning and individualist instruction. As learning becomes increasingly virtual, web-based and wireless, it still must physically take place somewhere. As information technology is becoming somewhere, more school technology throughout the school building and across the community. For example, public schools provide free of charge to public school for use by students. 1. The school library. 2. Science lab. 3. Sport facilities. 4. ICT lab. 5. Multipurpose hall. 6. Art room. 7. Music room. 8. Cafeteria. 9. Book and uniform store. And the last, Medicare.
In my opinion, for your point, public facilities in government schools are able to help the families of students who come from poor families or P40. This is because the student does not have to buy a textbook but only need to borrow the textbook at the beginning of the year and return it at the end of the year. Furthermore, the B40 group is also now able to provide sport equipment as in private school, even they only use it for free to hone the talent of the student. In addition, government schools are able to provide adequate equipment to students for free.
Yeah, I do agree, because facilities offered by school affect the health, behavior engagement, learning and growth of the students. The physical and emotional health of students and teachers also depends on the facilities they are getting in school. So every school should be equipped with proper facilities for the students and teachers, such that an environment conducive to learning is created. Parents should consider the facilities provided by each school in order to select the best school for their children's development. The facilities of a school impact overall learning process as well as the mental and physical growth of the students. This also affects the academic performance of the students to some extent, but improving the quality of school facilities is an expensive undertaking. However, when the positive impacts of facility improvement on teachers and students are translated into a dollar figures, the rewards of such investment far outstrip the cost of the investment. There are 5 primary facets of school facilities: acoustics or noise, air quality, lighting, temperature, and space. So, parents must consider the school's facility for their children.
Ahmad, can you clarify the design of safe school for me?
The design of school increasingly recognize the desirability of providing network rather than installing checkpoints and security guards. Smaller school building allow for both natural surveillance, where students and teachers are on familiar terms, thereby decreasing the possibility that any one student is overlooked.
Finally, for the conclusion is,
to sum up, there are some differences between public school and private school. Parents choose between the school depending whether they can afford it or not in the first place. Public school is run by the government itself. It's normally cheap and got big classes. However, private school is very expensive and got smaller classes and organized, plus the subject is in English. In addition, private school is more secure and safe on the other hand. But public school is less secure and a lot of problems could happen between the student every single day. We know that private schools are much advanced than any public school, but nowadays we can see a real improvement in public school, like they are hiring English teacher, or should I call ETA, English teacher assistant, from Canada, America and UK to improve the students' accent in English. At the end, a good student can pass at any school if he work hard. But in the future, we will see more improvement in the schools and more technology to use, not just notebooks.
Alright, that's all for our discussion today. So we want to thank to Mr. Hanafi for guiding us for this discussion assessment, and thank you for everyone watching right now, and don't forget to like and share, also subscribe our channel, and yeah, we love you guys, we love you, Mr. Hanafi.